The Luke Branquinho Show is brought to you by Lane Frost. Lane Frost, your legend starts now.
Hey, this is good for Nashville. This is good for country music. We want to help you make this bigger and better. So we've been embraced well. We've been blessed.
Everything as a whole was a first-class event. I mean, was it Hattie B's Hot Chicken?
Yep. And those Cowboys got to know him, and they're like, man, I never knew McGraw was like this. It's like the real McGraw is the real McGraw. What you see him on TV, he's no different.
Rodeo time.
Welcome to Luke Branquinho Show. Our next guest is a man who put on one heck of a show here a few weeks ago in Nashville. The co-founder of the City Rodeo, Patrick Humes. Patrick, thank you for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me. And thanks for coming out to the rodeo.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you guys did an awesome job all the way around, but being part of Teton Ridge and the Cowboy Channel, the pre-show, you guys set it up. The stage was perfect. The fans, the crowd, the backdrop. You guys did an amazing job just with what I was a part of, but more so with your event. I've been to a lot of rodeos in my career. That was probably one of the funnest rodeos I got to be a part of.
Man, I love hearing that. I mean, we worked our tail off. You know, we're a small crew. We got about 26 people that worked on this for 6 months. And then, you know, when it came up to rodeo week, we still were only about 170 people. And that included 50 of them from our contract with Stace and
right.
The bullfighters and pickup man. And so, I mean, we were a small and mighty crew, but we had our focus from day one. We wanted Cowboys first. We knew if we had good money, we had good stock, and we took care of the Cowboys, the rodeo would be spectacular. The fans would have an awesome experience, and they would keep coming back.
Well, and you guys did that to a T, in my opinion. And talking to, just so you know, I came out of retirement for the American, but I did re-retire. I did enter Nashville. I got drawn out because I didn't due to qualifications. Anyway, I don't need to go with that. But all the athletes I talked to said it was first class event. And when we were talking about entering, like, well, where are you going to park? Where are you going to put your horses? Where you guys made sure all that was taken care of before any of the other stuff. And that goes a long ways with the athletes.
Yeah, I mean, parking was our biggest challenge. I mean, we were on the beachfront, so
Yep.
we knew the fan experience was going to be spectacular. But making sure that the Cowboys can get in and out of there, that it wasn't a hassle, and that we can take care of them. And so we had two-pronged attack. We had a lot that was across the street, and we called it the horse highway, where you can get your horse trailered into that lot and then get them tacked up and walk them into the tunnel. We had a remote lot that we can also put you in and shuttle you directly from there into the arena. And then we knew having a facility down at Franklin where we offered complimentary stalls, RV hookups, and shavings, because we just wanted to make it as easy for the Cowboys to come, because we're asking them to come a long way. You know, there's only a handful of Cowboys that live out this neck of the woods, and the vast majority of them were going to have to travel a long way. It was kind of during their rest period before that summer run, you know, and so we wanted to make sure that we had not only that the money was a draw, but we also that the hospitality was a draw that keeps everybody coming back. And solving that parking and access, I know a lot of Cowboys and Cowgirls had heartburn over it, and I think we addressed it pretty well.
I think you guys addressed it as good as you possibly could and made it almost, I mean, just from people I talk to, seamless. You know, that is a tight quarter. You guys made it where you get in and out, have places to keep horses. You know, to me, that is number one. You said Cowboys first, and you guys did exactly that. You know, and we talk about the added money. Was it $30,000 per event you guys added?
25K. Yeah.
25,000 per event you guys added, which is huge money right now in the rodeo business, right? And you one, added the money, two, got great stock with Stace Smith. Getting to watch all the time events, because it's where I grew up, and then all the rough stock was so impressive with what they brought. Just everything as a whole was a first class event. The hospitality, I mean, was a Hattie B's Hot Chicken.
Yep.
I mean, that right there alone is worth the trip.
Yeah, they were great. When we reached out to Hattie B, they were on board with us when we were going to try to pull it off in 2024, and they said, "This is great. These are our people. We want to feed the Cowboys. We want to be a big part of it." They basically said, "How much do you need?" and tell us where to show up. So, having that and an iconic brand in Nashville and leaning into the hot chicken, and we really wanted to pull everything in. We pulled some stuff in from the Ryman. We wanted to be able to give everybody a wash because I had spoke to you, I guess it was 2024 when you guys came down for the Kid Rock thing, and they had that kickoff party at Kid Rock's. And we were talking about, hey, yeah, we're going to do this rodeo in Nashville. And I remember talking, I think it was only you and Joe Beaver were the only two guys that had ever been to Nashville. I think everybody else there, Fred Whitfield, I know Sid had been there once or twice, but vast majority of everybody else, Bobby Moe and everything, they'd never been there. And they're like, man, the Cowboys are going to eat this place up. So, we knew we had something special, but we also wanted to make sure, hey, this is a chance for Nashville to get to show itself to all these cowboys and cowgirls that have
100%.
never been there and give them a reason to come back outside of the rodeo.
Yeah. And being on the Cowboy Channel, showing the fans outside that maybe never have came to Nashville, saying, hey, this is a destination for cowboys, for the Western culture, that they may want to come now. And especially next year, you guys got, you said you got the rodeo coming back next 2 years for sure.
Yeah.
Which is exciting in itself, because I know it's hard to get better from what you guys did, but I know you guys are going to try and do better.
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's some things that we didn't do right. There's some stuff we stubbed our toe on. And, we've been working for the last week and a half in meetings with our team to download all that stuff. And I think we're set up to make it a better rodeo next year, give us a little bit more space, a little bit more time to enjoy the rodeo. And then we want to start layering in better activities so that when the Cowboys are here, hey, man, I'd like them to come out and spend 3 days here.
Right.
If they don't have to go to another rodeo or go somewhere, here's a place for you to take a breather for a couple days, soak in Nashville, get some other opportunities for the Cowboys and the Cowboy sponsors as well, to help them expand their marketability into the rodeo world and help them get a piece of Nashville inside.
You guys were a rodeo with a concert, because people were there to watch the rodeo, and it's not like, and maybe I misread it, but it's not like when the rodeo was going on, there was a lot of empty seats. It wasn't anything like that. Where Houston, it seems like when the rodeo starts, there's a lot of empty seats, and then as you get towards the end, the concert starts to fill in. And maybe I'm reading that wrong.
No, we were exactly like you said. It's just, I think if you're hungry for rodeo, and like Reba's night, it was packed when the first bareback horse cracked, and it was just like, it was awesome. Jelly was a little bit slower, but I think they thought that there was just a concert. Like a lot of people buying Jelly Roll, and they thought, oh, there's an opening act, and then we're coming for Jelly Roll, and then they got there and they're like, wait a minute, there's a rodeo here.
Right.
And so it's, I think you're right though. I think we're, at least initially, we're going to be a rodeo with the concert. We want to lean into it. We want to keep it Cowboy first.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go to break, and when we come back, we're going to have more with co-founder of Music City Rodeo, Patrick Humes.
Hey, I'm Matt Merritt. And whether I'm hanging out at home or when I'm in the woods, or even when I'm in the arena, I always choose to be legendary. Do you?
The Luke Branquinho Show is brought to you by Lane Frost. Lane Frost brand is completely family owned and operated. Every single product is designed and shipped from their hometown, Atoka, Oklahoma. The Frost family thanks customers for supporting their family. They hope you're inspired by Lane's legacy and the champion mindset. Fans of the Luke Branquinho Show can use promo code LUKE20 for 20% off any of their quality products at lanefrost.com. Welcome back to the Luke Branquinho Show. We have Patrick Humes, co-founder of Music City Rodeo in Nashville. Patrick, you were talking about next year getting, making things bigger and better. And when I was on stage with Tim McGraw on the Cowboy Channel, or on the pre-show, first off, I was looking at Tim McGraw like, holy crap, I'm sitting next to Tim McGraw. Had great conversation with him, but he's talking like we're gonna blow this thing up, maybe try to make a festival out of it.
Yeah, well, Tim's great. And you get a taste of it now. Like Tim McGraw, when you see him on TV, it's the same Tim McGraw when the cameras are off and you meet him and you talk to him. And when we had a bunch of those Cowboys come down, we called them the Nashville 8. And when Tim O'Connell and Cole Reiner came back down, we were 4 days with McGraw and going to a bunch of different places and just talking with him and how he deals with people. And then those Cowboys got to know him, and they're like, man, I never knew McGraw was like this. It's like the real McGraw is the real McGraw. What you see him on TV, he's no different. And he's passionate about the rodeo. He's a great partner to have, and he wants to build this bigger. But yeah, he wants, we want to spread our wings. We want to add more perfs. We want to make it the rodeo bigger, get to a 2-header, grow it into a festival atmosphere so that we have more outdoor activations. We have other things outside of the rodeo, growing into kind of a format of, I don't know if it's going to be a series or a playoff tournament style like Houston, but stretch it out a few more days to where we have a marketplace element, where we have a festival element outside, where the rodeo. So there's 4 or 5 different things happening around the rodeo that we can really expand on. But, getting more days, getting our purse bigger, that's our goal for sure.
Well, I know, was it the week after CMA Fest came into town? That, and I don't know anything about the industry, if that was something you guys could integrate in with CMA Fest or not. Is that a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, certainly we're in talks with them. I think they weren't nervous, but they just didn't really understand what we were going to be and coming in right in front of them. And then I think when they saw it, just like I told everybody, rodeo needed to happen to Nashville because the Western heritage and country music are glove in hand. And I think CMA Fest saw that, and they saw, hey, this is just a way for us to extend our fan base into something different, and having it coupled with the start of CMA Fest. Because when we got done and moved out, we were moving out on Monday. We were finalizing everything. They were building all their stages on Monday across the park across the way, because they started Wednesday.
Right.
So I think the natural progression of our event and theirs is that, I don't know if it's a combined deal, but there's definitely going to be a lot of synergies how we work together tightly with them. We had a songwriters, absolutely. We had a songwriters fest that they asked us to do on Tuesday. Said, hey, can you guys come down and do a songwriters thing based on Music City Rodeo? So we had 3 songwriters, of one which was Landon, who did the opening show for Teton Ridge for the Rodeo Live. And we're already doing a lot of integrations with them because they bump up right to NASCAR. So NASCAR threads in with them, and it's just a natural progression to work with CMA Fest and combine all things.
Well, and you take the fans, and you brought up NASCAR. I mean, you take the rodeo fans, the NASCAR fans, the CMA Fest fans, they're one and the same in all realities. Maybe they don't know that they're fans of rodeo, but I guarantee you, a NASCAR fan goes and watch rodeo, they're going to love it. A rodeo fan goes and watch NASCAR, they're going to love that. And then the CMA fans, to me, it's just all in one.
Yeah, and the thing we like about it is, there's rodeo fans and that'll go to 3 perfs and watch all 3 nights. And we had a handful of that. But the vast majority of people are coming in and they want one experience, they want to see something else. The great thing about us being right in and around CMA and NASCAR, you can come to Nashville and go see 3 spectacular, totally different events in 1 week.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you get that?
Right.
It's awesome.
I know when we were leaving, which we probably had a little too much fun the last night of the rodeo. So we were, not feeling great, but when we were leaving, like, man, it just feels wrong to leave right now. There's just so much you could do. And what I love about it is we stayed, I can't remember the hotel we stayed at, but you could walk anywhere you wanted to go and be where you needed to be within a half hour. That's what I loved about Nashville. It's so, the way it's set up, you could have a hotel and you can get anywhere you need to be without having to step foot in a car.
I tell everybody the biggest question about Nashville is, do you want your hotel downhill or uphill?
That's right.
So you got to figure out how you're going to wound yourself. Do you want the downhill walk in the morning or do you want it in the evening? And that's the biggest question, because there's so many good hotels. They're all relatively new that are in that area, that when we had our contract staff coming in, like when Cody Webster and Dusty Tuckers were coming in, they're like, hey, just Uber to the hotel. As literally everywhere you're going to want to go is within 3 or 4 blocks of the hotel, because we stayed right across the street from the Bridgestone at the Cambria. And having that part of Nashville just makes it a lot better. Like when you go to Vegas for the NFR, NFR is great. It's spread out in a lot of locations. You can't walk anywhere in Vegas. It's just not possible. In Nashville, you can come here. You can walk everywhere that you're going to want to go during our rodeo, and even into CMA Fest if you want to stay that long. You don't need a car. Just fly in, get an Uber to one spot, you drop your bags, and everywhere else you're on foot, and you're within 4 or 5 blocks of anything you want to go to.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go to break. We come back. We're going to talk more Music City Rodeo and Nashville with Patrick Humes. Welcome back to the Luke Branquinho Show. Patrick, we were talking Music City Rodeo, Nashville, and the walking distance. Me and my wife walked everywhere. And like you said, I don't know that we picked the right up or down, but my feet got to work out either way. But what is neat to see, it seems like they're doing a lot of new stuff down in Nashville, like down towards Broadway. And I can't remember the street, but they got a lot of new builds and stuff going up down there.
Yeah. So, I mean, in Broadway, it seems like every 6 months we have a new bar that's branded after a new artist. I mean, in the last year, I think they've opened 4 of them down there. Eric Church, Morgan Wallen, John Bon Jovi opened one. And they keep opening new bars and refreshing everything. It just gets bigger and better. And then on top of that, we're layering in 4 or 5 hotels a year, and each of them are 250 rooms per hotel. So our hotel count's getting high enough. Then with the new stadium across the way, there's Super Bowl aspirations and everything. So this city's building itself as like a powerhouse convention town. They've got all that draw on Broadway. They've got all these hotels, and now they've got convention space to do it. So they have it set up so that you can come and just stay downtown and do everything. They want all those dollars, so they want you staying close.
Well, we talk about rodeo and how it's growing in Nashville and all that business that the foot traffic is going. We walked to, the first day we got there, we walked to the Detroit Cowboy, Kid Rock's new steakhouse. And, he's big in rodeo with his Kid Rock's Rockin' Rodeo that I get to be a part of. But having people as of, Tim McGraw, obviously Reba because she's from a world championship family, but those country stars and even Kid Rock, who's a rock star, help promote the Western sports. Did you have other artists kind of reach out like, hey, how do we become a part of this? I imagine you'd had to have, huh?
There has been a lot of that, and the music industry has really embraced us, not just as far on the talent side, but all the support staff through the labels, through the music industry itself that have really come on board and are like, hey, this is good for Nashville. This is good for country music. We want to help you make this bigger and better. So we've been embraced well. We've been blessed.
Me getting to be a part of the pre-show with Cowboy Channel was fun. I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but we had that college game day experience where the crowd was behind us and you could feel the energy. And that's something that rodeo has missed. And you guys and the Cowboy Channel and Teton Ridge, they're really bringing it back.
Yeah, I mean, Rodeo Live was just spectacular. We're thrilled that they added us to their list and that they came out for the rodeo. And I mean, having that backdrop of Broadway, it just paints its own picture because the people are excited to hit Broadway and they like populating that area, and they're hanging off the buildings. They're in the rooftop. They're in the front of the buildings, and having that framed background from that Rodeo Live set that captured that postcard, it was pretty powerful. It was great. I was excited.
Well, we're going to go to break, and we come back. We're going to wrap up with Patrick Humes. Welcome back to Luke Branquinho Show. All right, we're going to wrap up here with Patrick Humes. Some rapid fire questions, and then we'll let you go. I'm going to say your favorite rodeo, but I think I know which one it is. Other than Nashville, let's not throw that one in there. What's your favorite rodeo?
Probably Reno Rodeo, because that's where I grew up. So I grew up to that rodeo. I go back every year. My dad's had a box there for, 45, 50 years. Oh, wow. And so it's our hometown rodeo. That's my kids love it. I love it. It's an outdoor rodeo. Usually the weather's pretty good, so I like sitting in the sun. And I'll get to watch that one. I won't have to work in a couple of weeks.
The one place I never got a pair of Spurs at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm retired now. So, all right, favorite Nashville bar?
Probably Jelly Roll. One, because he partnered with it, but it's uncharacteristically Jelly Roll. When you walk in, it's a really clean, kind of crisp bar. It doesn't look like it would be a Jelly Roll bar. But it's really nice. And I enjoy it. It's got probably one of the best rooftops.
Favorite Nashville food?
Oh, I mean, I am a fan of the hot chicken. I'm not going to lie, but probably my favorite is Edley's Barbecue. That's probably my go-to.
All right. Last one. Favorite sport to watch when not watching rodeo?
Wow, it's baseball.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What's your team?
Well, I lived in Colorado for 25 years, so I'm a little bit partial to the Rockies, but I'm really hoping that we get an MLB team here in Nashville. That's what I want, really bad.
That would be awesome. Well, Patrick, I can't thank you enough for joining us on the show. excited for the future of Music City Rodeo. And like I told you before, if there's anything I could do or anything we could do here on the show to help you guys push it, don't hesitate to ask.
Man, I appreciate being on the show. Thanks for having us. And hey, don't forget about us. Come out next year.
Absolutely. You guys hear that? Head out to Nashville next year for the Music City Rodeo. Thank you all for watching.